Hi, I'm Dan Smith, and this is part 2 of what we're calling the fingerpicking blues or meditation blues chord progression. And this is going to be a video about how you can play lead along with the backing track that you can also connect to through this video, which should be right up there if I put the link in correctly. But I want to go over how to approach playing lead, because the cool thing about this progression is you can really approach it in a couple different ways. If you've watched my video about playing lead in both minor and major pentatonic scales, this is actually a chord progression where you can kind of do both, which is a little unusual. Most songs are kind of, sort of one or the other. But the great thing about this blues fingerpicking chord progression is that you can kind of blend them and use and kind of switch back and forth depending on what you're going for. So what I want to do is I'm going to play the demo that you can play along with too, because I'm going to put up a video of just me playing the progression for 4 or 5 minutes, so you can use that as a backing track. But I want to demonstrate how you can get started playing along with improvising within the minor and major pentatonic scales. So this is in the key of E, and so for the minor we're going to start up here on the 12th fret, but eventually if you want to try it in the major pentatonic, you would just take that same pattern and go down 3 frets. But there's no substitute for hearing it all in action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little bit in the minor to kind of give you a feel for that, and then a little bit in the major. But then what I really want to show you is how you can use one riff that you come up with in the minor pentatonic scale, and then try doing the same exact riff in the major and see if you can start to hear the difference. And it's a great way to get to know the difference between minor and major pentatonic lead. For one thing, all your root notes are going to be in a different spot if you're switching from minor to major and vice versa. But let's try it. I'm going to just kind of play a little bit and you'll get a sense of what I'm talking about. So if you watched the instructional video for the fingerpicking blues, or meditation blues as I like to call it, this is going to sound familiar to you, right? So I'm going to start in the minor. That's all very minor, right? Pretty bluesy. But now I could also go down 3 frets. Basically the same riff, but it sounds very different. Take that same riff and do it in the minor. It's got a totally different feel. That's the major. This is the minor. Totally different attitude, totally different kind of result, right? So let's pause this for a second. So the reality is you can do anything you want. The thing I always say is there's no such thing as a wrong note. There's just notes you don't put your heart behind, meaning if you know what you're going for, you can play anything you want to, and it can sound in a way wrong if you don't put your heart behind it, if you're not deliberate about it. So if you're going for that kind of melodic feel, then that will sound good. If you don't know that that's what you're going for, it's going to sound off to you. If you know you're going for a kind of a gnarlier, bluesier kind of thing, then you're gonna, be more deliberate about it, and it's gonna work a little better. So I'm just gonna demo a little bit more, just to give you a feel. Here we go. So this is minor. Here's major. Trying to do kind of the same riff so you can get a sense of how different it feels. Right, that's major. They both work, right? You just have to know what you're going for. So, give it a try. Go to the link in this video for the backing track and see what it's like. Try doing just, start simply in the minor, then horse around a little bit in the major, but then try doing the same riff in both and see if you can kind of like mix and match. It's a really good jumping off point to develop your lead and really just kind of take you into, just new areas that you probably wouldn't otherwise go. So enjoy.